try to drum out the child's mind. It is not only confused, but keeps going around all the time.
There is Zigzag Island, probably Rosemary Island. Neverland is always more or less an island with astonishing splashes of color here and there, and coral reefs and lonely layers, and gnomes who are mostly tailors, and a cave in which a beautiful river runs, and princes with 6 elder brothers, and a hut fast going to decay, and a very small old woman that puts no.
It would be an easy map if that were all, but there's also the first day at school, fathers, religion, the round ponds, needlework, music, stray cats.
Murders, hangings, demonstrative adjectives, chocolate pudding day, getting into braces, and cash for pulling out your tooth.
Neverland's vary a good deal. Wendy's is a house of leaves deftly sewn together.
Who is Captain Hook?
Don't you remember how you killed him and saved my life?
I forget them after I killed him, Wendy.
Tinkerbell remembers.
Who is Tinkerbell?
Oh, Peter, she drank poison for you.
Oh, there are such a lot of them. I expect she's dead by now.
You will remember me, though, won't you, Peter?
George, the other night I saw a boy at the window.
3 floors up?
He escaped, but his shadow had time to get out.
Well, I don't think it's anyone we know, but he does look a scoundrel.
Dear night lights that protect my sleeping child, burn clear and steadfast tonight.
You too have been there. You can still hear the sound of the surf, though you shall land no more.
Of all the delicate islands, Neverland is the snuggest, the most compact. Not large and sprawling, though. The tedious distance between one adventure and the other, but nicely crammed.
When you played it by day with the chairs and tablecloth, it is not in the least alarming. But in the 2 minutes before you go to sleep, it becomes very real. So there are night lights.
All children except one grow up. They soon know
they will grow up. And the way Wendy knew was this.
When she was 2 years old, she was playing in a garden, and she plucked another flower and ran with it to her mother. I suppose she must have looked rather delightful, for Mrs. Darling put her hand to her heart and cried, "Oh, why can't you stay like this forever?" This was all that passed between them on the subject, but henceforth Wendy knew that she must grow up. You always know after you are 2. 2 is the beginning of the end. Until Wendy came, her mother was the chief one. She was a lovely lady with a romantic mind.
Such a sweet, mocking mouth.
Her romantic mind was like the tiny boxes, one within the other, that come from the puzzling East. However many you discover, there's always one more.
And her sweet, mocking mouth had one kiss on it that Wendy could never get, though there it was, perfectly conspicuous in the right-hand corner.
How did Mr. Darling win her?
The many gentlemen who had been boys when she was a girl all discovered simultaneously that they loved her, and they ran to her house to propose, except Mr. Darling, who took a cab and nipped in first. And so he got her.
He got all of her, except for the innermost box and the kiss. He never knew about the box, and in time he gave up trying for the kiss. Wendy thought Napoleon could have got it, but I can picture him trying and storming off in a passion, slamming the door.
Mr. Darling used to boast to Wendy that her mother not only loved him, but respected him. He was one of those deep ones who knew a lot about stocks and shares. Of course, no one really knows, but he quite seemed to know. And he often said stocks are up and shares are down.
In a way that would have made any woman respect him. Mrs. Darling was married in white, and at first she kept the books perfectly, almost gleefully, as if it were a game. Not so much as a Brussels sprout was missing.
But by and by, whole cauliflowers dropped out, and instead of them, there were pictures of babies without faces. They were Mrs. Darling's guesses.
Wendy came first.
For a week or two after Wendy came, it was doubtful whether or not they'd be able to keep her, as she was another mouth to feed. Mr. Darling was frightfully proud of her, but he was also very honorable, and he sat on the edge of Mrs. Darling's bed, holding her hand and calculating expenses.
She looked at him imploringly. She wanted to risk it, come what might.
But that was not his way. His way was with a pencil and a piece of paper. 1.16 here and 2 and 6 at the office, I can cut off my coffee at the office, say 10 shillings, making 296. With your 18 and 3 makes 397. With 5 not in my checkbook makes 897. Who is that moving? 897. Dot and carry the 7. Don't speak my own. Dot and carry child. Did I say 997? Yes, I said 997. The question is, can we do it for a year on 997?
He really was the grander character of the two.
Remember, mumps and whooping coughs say 10 shillings at least.
And so it went. And it added up differently each time. But at last, when he just made it through, with mumps reduced to 12-6 and 2 different types of measles treated as one. Stars are beautiful, but they may not take an active part in anything. They must just sit and look on forever. It's a curse put on them for something they did so long ago that no star now remembers what it was.
The older ones have become glassy-eyed and seldom speak, the younger ones think. They're not very friendly to Peter, who has a mischievous way of stealing up from behind them and blowing them out.
But they were so fond of fun up there on his side tonight, and anxious to get the grown-ups out of the way. So as soon as the door of 27 closed on Mr. and Mrs. Darling, there was a commotion in the firmament. And the smallest of all the stars in the Milky Way cried out,
Now, Peter!
If you ask your mother whether she knew Peter Pan when she was a little girl, she will say, "Why, of course I did, child." And if you ask her whether he rode on a goat in those days, she will say, "What a foolish question to ask. Certainly he did." And if you ask your grandmother whether she knew Peter Pan when she was a little girl, she also says, "Why, of course I did, child." But if you ask her whether he rode on a goat in those days, she will say she never heard of him having a goat. Perhaps she has forgotten, just like she forgot her name and calls you Mildred, which is your mother's name. But still, how could she holler because something such fun as the goat? Therefore, there was no goat when your grandmother was a little girl. This shows that in telling the story of Peter Pan to begin with a goat is as silly as put on your jacket before the vest. Of course, Peter is ever so old. He really is the same age. But that isn't that in the least. His age is 1 week. And even though he's born so long ago, he's never had a birthday. Nor is there the slightest chance of him ever having one. The reason is that he escaped being a human when he was 7 days old.
Tinkerbell? Tink! Where are you? Do you know where they put, my shadow? I'll stick it on with soap.
Boy, why are you crying?
What's your name?
Wendy, Mora, Angela, Darling. What's your name?
Peter Pan.
Where do you live?
A second star to the right, straight on to morning.
What a funny address. Is that what they put on the letters?
I don't get any letters.
But your mother gets letters.
I don't have a mother.
Oh, Peter, no wonder you were crying.
I wasn't crying about mothers. I was crying because I can't get my shadow to stick on. Besides, I wasn't crying.
It has come off.
Yes.
How awful. You can't stick it on with soap. How exactly like a boy. It must be sewn on.
What's so?
You're dreadfully ignorant.
No, I'm not.
I shall sew it on for you, my little man. I dare say it will hurt a little.
Oh, I shan't cry. I've never cried in my life.
Perhaps I should have ironed it.
Oh, how clever I am! Oh, the cleverness of me!
There never was a cockier boy. Of course, I did nothing.
You did a little.
Well, if I'm no use, I can at least withdraw.
No, Wendy, don't withdraw, please. I can't help crowing when I'm pleased with myself. One girl is more use than 20 boys.
Do you really think so, Peter?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, I think it's perfectly sweet of you. And I'll get up again, and I will give you a kiss, if you like.
All right.
Shh. Surely you know what a kiss is.
I shall know when you give it to me. Now shall I give you a kiss?
If you please. Oh, I will wear it on a chain around my neck. Peter, how old are you?
I don't know. I'm young, Wendy. I ran away the day I was born. It's because I had father and mother talking about what I was to be when I became a man. I don't ever want to be a man. I always want to be a little boy and have fun. I've lived a long time among the fairies.
You really know fairies?
Well, yes, you see. When the first baby laughed for the first time, its laugh broke into a million bajillion pieces, and they all went skipping about. And that was the beginning of the fairies. And so, there ought to be one fairy for every boy and every girl.
Ought to be, isn't there?
Well, no. You see, children know such a lot now and soon don't believe in the fairies. And every time a child says, I don't believe in fairies, there's a fairy somewhere that falls down dead. I can't think where she has gone to. Tinker Bell! Tink!
Peter, you don't mean to tell me that there is a fairy in this room?
She was just here now. You don't hear her, do you?
Well, the only sound I hear is like a tinkle of bells.
That's Tinkerbell. That's the fairy language. Wendy, I do think I hear her too. Wendy, I think I shut her up in this drawer. You shouldn't say such things. Of course, I'm awfully sorry, but how could I have known you were in the drawer?
Oh, Peter, she would only stand still and let me see her.
They hardly ever stand still.
Oh, the lovely.
Tink! This lady says she wishes you were her fairy.
What does she say, Peter?
She's not polite. She says that you're dumb and that she's my fairy. You know you can't be my fairy, Tink, because I am a gentleman and you are a lady.
You silly ass.
Do you know why I come here, Wendy?
Me?
It's to hear stories. You see, I don't know any stories. And none of the lost boys know any stories.
Oh, how perfectly awful.
Do you know why swallows build in the eaves of houses? It's to hear the stories. Oh, your mother was telling you such a lovely story earlier.
Which story was it?
The one about the man who was searching for the lady who wore the glass slipper.
Peter, that was Cinderella, and he found her, and they lived happily ever after. Where are you going?
To tell the other boys.
Don't go, Peter. I know such lots of stories. Hello? Hello? Who's there? Who are you?
Gotcha! You can't escape.
Are you a pirate?
No, I'm not a pirate. I'm a flower, a tiger lily. You're not a pirate, are you?
I'm lost. I'm a lost boy.
I won't hurt you.
I'm terrified Pirate's Peter's gone.
Well, you're safe now.
I dreamt last night that the prince found Cinderella. I'm dying to know the end of the story.
Who's Cinderella?
You know, from the story, some about shoes, the black leg, mice no eyes. We don't have those, but Peter Pan comes back to tell us more of the stories.
Oh, I know Peter Pan. Are you one of the ones that fell from your crib? You're safe now.
I'm frightfully anxious when Peter is gone. I don't remember much about my mother, but I do remember is that she often said to Father, oh, how I wish I had a checkbook of my own. I don't know what a checkbook is, but I should just love to give my mother one. Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily, where did you go? Are you there? Tiger Lily, are you okay? Tiger Lily, where did you go? Peter, where are you going?
I told you to tell the other boys.
Don't go, Peter. I know such lots of stories. Oh, the stories I can tell to the boys. Let me go.
But do come with me, Wendy, and tell the other boys.
Oh, I can't. Think of Mommy. Besides, I can't fly.
I'll teach you.
Oh, how lovely to fly.
I'll teach you how to jump on the wind's back, and then away we go.
Oh,
And Imagine, Wendy, when you were sleeping in your silly bed, you could be flying about with me, saying funny things to the stars.
I'm scared.
And Wendy, there are mermaids.
Mermaids with tails.
Such long tails.
Oh, to see a mermaid.
Oh, Wendy, how we should all respect you. And you could tuck us in at night.
Oh, Peter.
None of us has ever been tucked in at night. And you could don our clothes, make pockets for us. None of us has any pockets.
Of course. It's awfully fascinating.
You ready? Ta-da!
How sweet.
Yes, I'm sweet.
How do you do it?
You just think lovely, wonderful thoughts and they lift you up in the air.
Couldn't you do it very slowly once?
Ta-da!
I can't.
Well, first you need fairy dust, and then you need to have a thought. Can you think of one?
My mom.
Don't be silly. You've got to do better than that.
Birds, tea, mermaids, cake.
Wiggle your shoulders this way.
Oh, look at me.
You're doing it, Wendy.
This is harder than it looks, Peter.
You're doing great.
Oh, I think I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Oh.
See?
Oh, do we dare go out?
Let's go a billion miles.
Of course it was this that Peter had been luring her. I don't know, Peter.
You can. It's easy. I'll protect you from pirates.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
You can. Mermaids. Wendy.
I'm scared. Please, Peter.
Just as Mr. and Mrs. Darling got back to the house, they looked up at the nursery. And yes, it was still shut, but the room was ablaze with light. And the most heart-gripping sight of all was of two figures in night attire, dancing, not on the ground, but in the air.
Come on, Wendy.
They rushed into the nursery too late.
The birds were flown.
I'm flying.
Nothing sounds alive. Oh, yo-ho, the flag of skull and bones.
A merry hour hath been roping a hay by Davy Jones.
How do I look?
Cadaverous.
Mr. Smee, risking penalty of this, did you or did you not pluck that lily for me?
I did.
And where is she now?
All tied up in a rock in the center of the lagoon, Captain. She'll be out of your hair now, Captain.
Hello? Tiger Lily, where did you go? Are you okay? Where did you go?
Shall we after them, Captain?
And wake the island?
Johnny is the silent fellow. Shh. Let's get them.
I want not them, but their captain, Peter Pan. 'Twas he cut off my arm. Oh, I've been waiting long to tear him.
Yet I've often heard you say that a hook is worth a score of hands for combing hair and other homely uses.
Aye, if I was a mother, I would want my children to be born with this instead of that.
Unrip your plan, Captain. I'm sure you've got one.
Yes, I have got a plan.
So, unrip it.
We wait, Smee. We wait for Pan.
Where were you?
Just down there talking to mermaids. See, their scales always stuck to you.
Oh, how long ago did we leave the window?
Are you hungry, Wendy?
No, I'm sleepy. Oh, look at the ocean down there.
I could catch food from the mouths of birds for you.
Well, that's an odd way of getting your bread and butter. Do you even know that there are other ways?
Don't be silly.
I'm so tired, Peter. Aren't we almost there?
Yes, we're almost there, you.
Stay with me, Peter. I don't like it when you fly ahead.
When the curtain goes up, all is so dark that you scarcely know it has gone up. That is because if you were to see the island bang, as Peter would say, the wonders of it may hurt your eyes. If you all came in spectacles, perhaps you could see it bang, but to make a rule of that would be kind of a pity.
We get off here. The island is looking for us.
Where?
Where all the millions of golden arrows are pointing. Those are fairies.
Oh, how lovely. There's the lagoon.
Everyone close your eyes. The first thing seen is merely some wittish docks trudging along, and you can tell from their twinkling that they are probably fairies of the commoner sort, coming home afoot from some party and having a cherry tiff by the way. But then Peter's star wakes up, and in the blink of it, which is much stronger than in our stars, you can make out masses of trees, and you think you see wild beasts stealing a drink, though what you really see are the shadows of them. They are really out pictorially to greet Peter in the way they think he would like them to greet him. But now that Peter's here, this is the Neverland come true. A forest, an open air scene, a beautiful lagoon, one adventure another, one summertime another.
Wendy huddled close to Peter now. His careless manner had gone at last. His eyes were sparkling. A tingle went through them every time she touched his body. They were now over the fearsome island, flying so low that sometimes a tree grazed their feet. Nothing horrid was in the air, yet their progress was slow and labored, exactly as if they were pushing their way through hostile forces.
Would you like your tea now?
Tea first.
To the lagoon then.
You mean where the mermaids are?
Yes, but watch out for Hook. I cut a bit off him, his right hand. If we meet him in an open fight, you must leave him to me.
I promise. Tink was flying with them, and in her light, they could distinguish each other. Unfortunately, Tink could not fly as slowly as they, so she went around and around in a circle, in which they moved as in a halo. Of course, Tinkerbell landed first.
He's here. He's back. He's back.
Peter, you came back. What happened? Did he find you for the shoes they hurt you now?
Don't ask me. Ask our new mother, Wendy.
Our mother? At last, I'll get you your own checkbook. Hello. I'm one of the lost boys. But you found us anyways.
Tell him, Wendy.
He found her. The prince found Cinderella, and he lived happily ever after, as they should. You should have known it would end that way.
I should have, shouldn't I?
Thank you, Wendy.
You see, she is a lady. Here is the kiss she gave me.
I remember kisses. Let me see it. Aye, that's a kiss, all right. Build a house for her!
Build a house for her? Build a house for her!
In an instant, 100 fairy sawyers were among the branches. Architects were running around. A bricklayer's yard sprang up. 75 masons rushed up the foundation stone, and the queen laid it. Overseers were appointed to keep the boys off. Scaffoldings were run up. The whole place rang with hammers and chisels and turning lathes. And by this time, the roof was on, and the glazers were putting in the windows. The house was perfectly lovely. The fairies, as in their custom, clapped their hands with delight over their cleverness, and were all so madly in love with the little house that they couldn't bear to think they had finished it. So they added ever so many little extra touches, and even then they added more extra touches. How lovely the little house.
Are you still sleepy, Wendy?
Oh, I couldn't shut my eyes if I wanted to. Show me the mermaids.
To the lagoon at once.
Shut your eyes, our lucky one. You may at times see a shapeless pool of lovely pale colors suspended in the darkness. Then, if you squeeze your eyes tighter, the pool begins to take shape, and the colors become so vivid that with another squeeze they must go on fire. But just before they go on fire, you see the lagoon. This is the closest you can get to it in the mainland. Just one heavenly moment. If there could be 2 moments, you might see the surf and hear the mermaids singing. Oh, let's spend the whole day here, Peter.
We can if you'd like, Wendy.
Oh, I might stay here for hours. I could start in on the pockets and socks for the lost boys.
You can if you like, but we must have our adventure sooner or later.
You can nap in the meanwhile. Now that I'm your mother, I had better be strict about this. The most haunting time at which to see mermaids is at the turn of the moon, when they utter strange wailing cries.
Mermaid, well may come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tongue in his tongue will take our leaving.
What's that? Do you hear something? Oh, I said, did you hear something? Oh, should I wake Peter?
I don't see why you would.
It wouldn't be very motherly to wake him.
Welcome to Neverland.
Tink could have said something, but
Wendy really pissed her off.
Shivers slowly roll up the lagoon. Oh, I do wish I could understand what you're saying, Tinkerbell. The sun's gone.
Wendy could no longer see through her needle, and when she looked up, the lagoon that had always hitherto been such a laughing place, and it seemed formidable and unfriendly.
Oh, it isn't the night has come, but something as dark as night.
You didn't break me! Lucky for you, I smelled danger even in my sleep. Pirates!
Oh, hide me!
This is the hour when children in their homes are abed, their lips brightly browned with the goodnight chocolate, and their tongues drowsily searching for belated crumbs housed insecurely on their shining cheeks.
Oh, Peter, I've never seen such a beautiful flower.
That's the tiger lily. How would you like this? Or this? No, Smee. No, it's this! Do what you have to do. You heard her, Smee. Do what you have to do. I'll swing around the Jolly Roger. I'll take the dinghy! I'll lay out my plan for when Pan comes back. Follow me when the deed is finished. I'll make a bouquet of you, canker blossom.
It's Lilium lancifolium.
I knew it, you lover! Some main resistance! Not a canker blossom! Not on your death!
If I am to die, no false names. I am the tiger lily, the perennial flower. I am to die, Neverland goodbye.
Luff, you lubber! You take the fun from me!
Oh, I'm sure you'll find some way to enjoy yourself.
A happy thought! Fresh lily!
Goodbye, I am to die.
Your doom awaits!
Ahoy there, you lovers! Ahoy there, you lovers!
Captain! Johnny Horser's poised and ready to go!
Set her free! Set her free! Set her free! Set her free!
Free?
Yes, cut her bonds and let her go!
Yes,
cut her bonds and let her go!
But, Captain!
At once do you hear, or I'll plunge my hook in ya!
At
once do you hear, or I'll plunge my hook in ya! Once do you hear, or I'll plunge my hook in ya!
Aye, Captain! Bold move! Ahoy, Smee. Ahoy.
Am I not a wonder? Oh, I am a wonder. Am I not a wonder? Oh, I am a wonder. Am I not a wonder? Oh, I am a wonder.
Captain, is all well? He sighs. He sighs again. And yet a third time, he sighs. The game is up. Those boys have found a mother. Oh, I overheard a mermaid. Oh, evil day. We're done for now. What is a mother?
He doesn't know.
What was that? I heard nothing. But what is a mother? Ugh. That bird on that nest on the water is a mother. Yes, what a lesson. Her nest must have fallen into the water, but would a mother desert her eggs? No. Perhaps if those boys have found a mother, she's around here to help Peter. Aye, that is the fear that haunts me. Perhaps we could kidnap these boys' mother and make her our mother.
It is a princely scheme I have made. We will seize the children, make the boys walk the plank, and their mother shall be our mother. Never! What was that?
I see nothing.
Do you agree to capture her, my bully?
There is my hand on it.
And my hook, swear.
Swear.
So, have the mermaids yet made a salad of that lily?
That's all right, Captain. I let her go.
Let her go.
'Twas your orders. You called over the water for me to let her go.
Brimstone and gall! What cheating is going on here? I gave no such orders.
I heard them playing.
The dark spirit that haunts this lagoon tonight, dost hear me? Odds, bobs, hammer and tongs, I hear you. Odds, bobs, hammer and tongs, I hear you.
Who are you, stranger?
Speak! I am James Hook, captain of the Jolly Roger. I am James Hook, captain of the Jolly Roger. I am James Hook, captain of the Jolly Roger.
Captain of the Jolly Roger.
Oh, you are not. You are not.
Brimstone and gall, say that again and I'll cast anchor in ya. Brimstone and gall, say that again and I'll cast anchor in ya. If you are Hook, tell me, who am I? A codfish! Only a codfish!
Codfish. Only a
Codfish! Only a codfish! Codfish! Only a codfish!
A codfish! Have I been captured by a codfish this whole time? I will admit it is lowering my pride. Don't desert me, bully. Hook, have you another voice?
I have!
And another name?
Aye.
Vegetable.
No.
Mineral?
No.
Animal.
Yes.
Man.
No!
You ask him some questions. I can't think of a thing. Boy.
Yes.
Ordinary boy.
No.
Wonderful boy.
Yes. Can't guess, can't guess. Do you give it up?
Yes. Yes.
Well then, I am Peter Pan!
Pan! Now we have him. Into the water, Smee. Take him, dead or alive.
Are you ready, boys?
Oh, no one ever gets over their first unfairness. No one except Peter Pan. He often meets it, but he always forgets it. I suppose that's the real difference between him and all the rest, because when he meets unfairness here, it's like the first time again. Twice the Iron Claw grabbed him in his shock.
It isn't fair!
We'll save you, Peter. The reason he will live and relive these first unfairnesses forevermore is because Peter Pan is betwixt and between, somewhere between bird and human.
Wait a minute! Just wait and listen up. Before moving ahead, we have to take a moment to examine. You know when you're first conceived, birds are involved? The wide-eyed shock and joy in your mother's eyes in that moment when you're first thought of is a result of an internal negotiation with the bird. And if you think hard enough, you remember the spots on your back where your wings used to be. Like the way a soldier, or I guess a starfish remembers an old limb. But of course, we all grow out of this, but Peter never did. He really is always the same age, and his age does not matter in the least.
The reason is he escaped from being a human when he was 7 days old. He escaped by the window and flew to Neverland.
If you think he was the only baby who ever wanted to escape, it just shows how truly you have forgotten your own young days. Think back hard, pressing down on your temples, And when you do this hard and even harder, you begin to remember a youthful desire to return to the
treetops. And with that memory comes other ones. As you had once lain in bed, plotting to escape when your mother had fallen asleep, or how she had once caught you halfway up the chimney. All children could have such recollections if they would press their hands hard to their temples.
For having been birds before they were human, they aren't actually itchy at the shoulders where the wings used to be.
Perhaps we could have all flown that night if we were as dead confident as Peter Pan was.
The reason there are bars on the nursery window and a tall fender by the fire is because very little people sometimes forget that they have no longer wings and try to fly out the window or up the chimney.
When the first baby laughed, his laugh broke into a million pieces and they all went skipping about. That was the beginning of the fairies. They looked tremendously busy, and if you were to ask them what they were doing, they couldn't tell you in the least.
They are frightfully ignorant, and everything they do is make-believe. They have a postman, but he never calls, except on Christmas with his little box. And they have beautiful schools, but nothing's ever taught in them.
I should know how to fly.
The youngest is always elected chief, and when she calls roll, they all go out for a walk and never come back.
Let's celebrate.
I always want to be a little boy and have fun. I want always to be young.
Don't worry, Peter Pan. We got him for now. I saved your life and you saved mine. I'll always owe you and you'll always owe me.
We did, didn't we? I'm clever.
Oh, Peter, you've been wounded. Let me mother you.
Oh, I shan't cry.
You can cry to your own mother, Peter.
That hurts, Wendy. Ow!
See? You are just exactly a boy, Peter.
I'll be fine, Wendy lady.
Well, I'll have the final word on that.
Let's celebrate, Peter. Partners for life. Let's celebrate. Blind ourselves on pixie dust, blow smoke from our ears. There's a daisy patch needs carousing.
I'm sorry, Tiger Lily, but Peter must recuperate.
I'd love to, Tiger Lily.
Miss Lily, Peter appreciates your invitation, but he will have to decline.
I know, Peter Pan. When we get hungry, I'll make the meatballs you love. And don't worry, Mrs. Wendy. I'll have him home before the sun comes up. And I would ask you to come, but I assume you don't want to go.
I most certainly do not.
You have to start getting used to adventures, Wendy.
Perhaps the biggest adventure of all is that we are all several hours late for bed.
Then you should sleep soundly.
Very well. I'll leave your medicine for you, Peter.
Wendy, I promise I'll take my medicine when I return. I do swear. A boy would have to celebrate, and I would have to stay a boy forever. Forever is not yet. I swear I will take my medicine when I return.
Do you swear it?
Yes, I will see you so soon.
Peter, what are your exact feelings about me?
Those of a devoted son.
I thought so.
Goodbye, Wendy.
Goodbye.
You silly ass.
I've heard that enough times that I no longer need translation. Good night, Tinkerbell. Oh, it's so dark. Good night, Neverland.
Hello, Peter, Wendy, did everybody leave?
Oh, there you are. Why aren't you in bed?
I was waiting to be tucked in.
Oh, how totally sweet. I shall do it.
Have you had adventures today, Mother?
Oh, yes, but they are not for a child's ears.
Will you tell me then, please? I was really hoping for a bedtime story.
You are right. Even at this hour, a child should have a story.
Start it, Wendy lady.
Shh, just lie down. There once was a gentleman.
I'd rather you've been a lady. Oh, White Rat.
Shh, quiet. There was a lady also.
Oh, Mommy, you mean that there's a lady also? Don't you? She's not dead, is she?
No, not in the least. The gentleman's name was Mr. Darling, and her name was Mrs. Darling. Oh, they were married, you know. And what do you think they had?
White rats?
No. They had a child who one day flew away.
It's an awfully good story.
She flew away to the Neverland, where the lost children are.
Now, I want you to consider the feelings of the unhappy parents with their child flown away. Think of the empty bed.
It's awful sad. I don't see how it'll have a happy ending. I'm frightfully anxious, Mother.
If you knew how great is a mother's love, you would have no fear. You see, our heroine, that's Mrs. Darling, would always leave the window open for her child to fly back by. So she stayed away for years and had a lovely time.
Did she ever go back?
Let us now take a peek into the future. Years have rolled by, and the child is elegantly dressed, ever so much older than 20. She might even have a child of her own by then.
We were awarded for our sublime faith in a mother's love, so up the girl comes her mommy and daddy, right? Right, Wendy? Wendy, hello. So did you ever go back, Wendy?
Poisons me. Oh, I do have him now. Oh, I do. This really is the hour. This is the hour when children in their home are in bed. Compare them with this child, a pirate mother from now on. Oh, split my infinitives. 'Tis my hour of triumph. Something tells me I should make my dying speech now. Something tells me that I may not have the opportunity when the time comes. Mortals envy me! But perhaps it might have been better not to have been so ambitious. When children play Peter Pan, the strongest always plays Peter, and the baby plays Captain Hook. The baby! That is where the canker gnaws. I would want to play you, Captain. Oh, they find Smee lovable, the nonconformist pirate with a happy smile upon his face because he thinks they fear him. Oh, but they do. How could I break it to him? Smee, train the prisoner. Make some happy thoughts, Tiger Lily.
Chocolate, sunsets in Neverland, and you, Peter, think some.
Snow angels, lavender, and a meatball. Knock it off, Tink!
Don't drink your medicine, Peter. It's too big for me, Smokey. You can't drink it.
I promised Wendy I would, and I'm going to. Why would you spill it out? You keep acting stranger and stranger.
I think we all know what's going on here, Pixie Dust.
What's going on?
Leave us alone, Tinkerbell, go on.
But Peter, there's poison in your medicine.
Poisoned? Who could have poisoned it? Yep, here it is. See? Yep, you're jealous.
Oh, you asked!
Tink, Wendy would not poison my medicine. I will drink it to prove it to you.
No!
What has gotten into you, dumbbell? I was trying to make it up to her, and you ruined everything!
Bastard. Gold. Gold.
Oh, Tink. It was poisoned? Who could have poisoned it?
Pup did. He stole her. And poisoned you.
Let's go rescue her! Come on, Tiger Lily!
It's too late, Peter. I drank it. And now I'm going to be dead.
Oh, Tink, did you drink it to save me?
Oh, you silly ass.
Okay. It's okay.
If only children believed in fairies again.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Do you believe in fairies? Please, clap your hands if you believe. Please, clap your hands. Stop your feet. Clap your hands. Stop your feet. It's better. Let's go save Wendy. Let's go save her.
The moon rides on a cloudy heaven.
Aye, Captain, nights like these. Do you hear a single sound?
No, Captain. That is the stillness of the end.
By now, Pan has met his fate. You won't get away with this. I won't stay here. Oh.
Perhaps we could have her walk the plank. We've been fine without a mother so far.
Oh, she'll come around, wrapped in blanket of the night through which no sound can penetrate. Oh, 'tis my hour of triumph. That glittering bauble of fame, it is mine.
Captain, is it good form to be distinguished at anything?
I am the only man whom barbecue feared, and Flint feared barbecue.
Is it not bad form to think about good form?
My child, you closer and closer approach the plank.
Fine then.
It was Pan that I wanted, chiefly Pan. I got him. Oh, it was his cockiness. Made me iron claw twitch. Bothered me like an insect in the night. No harm in that.
Captain, while he lived, you were a lion in a cage into which a sparrow had flown.
He still lives. I know it.
Oh, I bet. Listen, I'm not wholly evil. I like flowers and sweet music, and I find it admitted that the scene stirs me. It takes a lot of inspiration to do what I do.
Oh, I hate you.
Oh no! Little children love me!
Captain, shall I hoist her up then?
Very well.
Oh, what would your real mother say?
I wouldn't know her if I passed her. You should be picking up on that by now.
Am I to die then? My mother, birds, cake, tea.
Smee, what is she doing?
Thinking happy thoughts, and I'll fly. My mother.
Flight when Pan lies dead? You're surely doomed now.
Oh, I'm scared, oh Mom.
Hook on me this time! Aha! He lives!
You have gone too far now, Captain Jake. Shut up the Jolly Roger.
Peter Pan and Avenger, prepare to die.
Not so fast.
Take this one.
Whoa!
Captain, perhaps I could Johnny coach you the kicker lesson and yield to the last one.
But Pan, Smee, Pan! I assume this was all your doing.
I, James Hook, this is all my doing.
Proud and insolent youth.
Dark and sinister man, now shall we all have it be.
Pan, tell me! Who and what art thou?
I'm youth. I'm joy. I'm the little bird that is cracked out of the egg. James Hook, to die, well, it really is the greatest adventure.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Darling had no proper spirit. She had aired Wendy's bed, and she never leaves the house, and she always leaves the window open.
When the child left, Mr. Darling felt in his bones that the blame was all his. He was quite a simple man. Indeed, he might have been able to pass for a boy if he was able to take off his baldness.
We look at her closely now and remember the gaiety of her in the old days. All gone now, because she has lost her babe. Look at her in her chair, where she has fallen asleep. The corner of her mouth, where one looks first, is all withered up.
Her hand moves restlessly against her breast as if she's had a pain there.
Wendy? Wendy? Oh, I had dreamt my dear one had come back.
Goodness, if I had been just...
George, you are full of remorse as ever, aren't you?
I did it. I, George Darling, am to blame. I've lost our child. Mea culpa, I've done it. And so they sat, night after night, recalling that fatal Friday until every detail of it was printed on one side of their brain and shown on the other, like faces of a bad coinage.
Only I had not accepted that invitation to dine.
My fatal gift of humor, dearest.
My touchiness about trifles.
The empty nursery.
It had begun so uneventfully, so precisely like 100 other evenings.
Shut that window, dear. I feel a draft.
Oh, George! Never ask me to do that. The window must remain open for her. Always. Always.
I must go home at once.
We're driving there, wherever it may lead us. Oh, to have a jolly Roger, Wendy.
I mean home. Perhaps Mother is in half mourning by this time. Peter, will you make the necessary arrangements?
If you wish it.
I'm not asking you to pass the nuts, Peter. I'm asking to go home. Not so much as a sorry to lose you.
You can go home if you wish it, Wendy.
What are you doing, Peter?
Every time you breathe in Neverland, a grown-up dies, Wendy.
Oh, how dreadful! I must go home at once.
Wendy, you can't go. Peter, let's keep her prisoner. Chain her up.
No, she can go home if she likes. Tiger Lily will guide you through nature, and you know your happy thought. Think happy thoughts, Wendy.
Thank you, Peter. Suppose I won't be seeing you again.
You might.
Well, you won't forget me, will you? You won't forget saving me from Captain Hook.
Who's Captain Hook?
Oh, Peter, you slain him for me.
I forget them after I killed them, Wendy.
Well, dear ones, if you will all come with me, I feel almost sure I can get my father and mother to adopt you. All of you.
Peter, can we go?
All right.
Oh, ripping! Get your things, Peter.
No, I'm not going with you. She is.
But we could find your real mother.
No, perhaps you would say I was old, and I always want to be a little boy and have fun.
Oh, but Peter!
No. Are you ready, my Tiger Lily?
Aye, aye.
Then lead the way. Close the window, bar it. That's right. That way, when Wendy comes back, she will see that her mother has locked her out, and she will have to stay with me in Neverland.
This plan has been in his head the whole time?
Look, Wendy's mother sleeps. Wendy, she is quite a pretty lady, but not so pretty as my mother's is. Her mouth must be full of kisses, but not so full as my mother's. She's quite a lovely lady, too, but we can't both have her.
Night lights, protect my sleeping child. A mother's eyes, night lights.
Burn clear and steadfast tonight.
Mother?
Wendy?
Father?
Wendy?
Oh,
No.
you can't see Neverland bang. The wonders of it might hurt your eyes.
The window is shut. It is shut. Mother would leave it open.
No, Wendy,
How much time has passed?
I don't know.
Oh, Mother looks so very old.
Does this mean I can't go either?
No, Wendy, think happy thoughts. We could do spring cleaning, and you could take care of us, and we could do adventure things.
Think happy thoughts.
Mardi Gras.
Nicole.
My bay.
Bugs! Dino Nuggets!
Pizza! Taylor Swift!
Ice cream!
Hey!
Earplugs.
Pretty sharpened pencil! Wintertime!
Justin Herbert.
Money!
J-Lo.
Money!
Elton John, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Anime!
Backstreet Boys.
Popeye's biscuits!
Sharpie!
Blankets!
Our last glimpse of Wendy shows her at the window. As you look at Wendy, you may see her hair becoming white and her figure little again. For all this happened long ago. Her daughter Jane is now grown with a daughter called Margaret. Margaret grows and has a daughter too, which is to be Peter's mother in turn. And thus it will go on, so long as children are carefree and innocent and heartless. We recede into the sky until we are as small as stars.